here in Portugal to have a first drive of this, the brand spanking new Zeekr 7X. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you what it's like to drive, show you some of its party tricks, of which there are a lot, and let you know when it's coming to the UK. It's really windy here in Portugal. Right now in the UK, we're having like the best weather ever. We've come here and it's so windy. Right. This is a brand new Chinese brand making its way to European shores. Now, before you start moaning and complaining about it, this is not made and designed in China. This is made and designed in Europe for the European market. Just happens to be a Chinese brand. But I think what they've done when it comes to Zeekr is they did what I used to do at school, because I never used to really pay attention, and sometimes the best thing to do was sit next to the really clever people and then just copy their homework. So I think the Zeekr was sat in the middle of Tesla, just copy their homework there, Tesla, yeah, nice, and then Lotus, I'm gonna copy, yeah, Lotus, lovely, 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 to make this. That's what they've done.
Right then, size-wise, it's 4.8 metres long, 1.9 metres wide and 1.6 metres tall. It's almost identical to the Model Y, give or take a few millimetres. No coincidence there, eh? So we're talking top end of the D-segment family SUV bracket. That's spacious.
Right, we've got another electric SUV, folks. Yeah, although slightly different styling when it comes to this. We've got a full visor front that goes all the way around, even past the wheel arches, which actually I quite like the look of. Along the front, you've got matrix LED headlights. That comes as standard, even in the base spec. This spec, by the way, is the Privilege edition. If you want to have a little look around, we have got a full walk around video that Nikki Shields did recently, so you can go back on Electrifying and have a look at that. We've got mirrors taken from the Polestar. Cameras, sensors, cameras, sensors, cameras, sensors everywhere, and a party trick. Ready? It's supposed to... Ah, that's quite satisfying. I quite like that. You only get this in the Privilege trim, by the way. But what it does mean is if you're having an argument with someone, you can't do a dramatic door slam. Can't do it. So if you're like, you're stupid, and then you didn't even pay for dinner, and then you told that my mum smelled really weird, and that's not fair, because that's just not right. So is it? I'm not with you anymore. Do you see what I mean? Now, at the back, you've got a light bar, which has basically been taken from the Lotus Electra. Same brand, Geely Group. So at the back here, I mean, it's not a full light bar, it kind of breaks it up in the middle here, but that's because you've got camera sensors everywhere around the entire car. The only logos that you can see is what's in the rear windscreen here. Oh, there's no rear wiper. That's going to get annoying. And then you've got the 7X logo down here. You have a sloping roof line because aerodynamics, and the black roof is only in the Privilege trim. And it's now raining. Brilliant.
The boot has a very decent size, so you've got 539 litres of space and a 66-litre frunk. That's if you go for the rear-wheel drive model. If you want the all-wheel drive version, which is the one we've got here, then the frunk falls to 42 litres. But how does that compare to a Tesla? Well, I mean, who knows, because Tesla is apparently the only car company in the world to give the volume figure measured to the roofline. So that figure is 854 litres, so it makes things confusing.
The amount of tech inside this car is insane. It's basically a driving computer. That's what this car is. Very similar to a Model Y going on up in here. I'm going to take you through this entire screen in a minute. But you've also got a screen here, which you don't get in a Model Y. We also have the optional head-up display, which, by the way, is huge. Like, we're going to try and get a shot of this on camera, but it's massive, and it's got all of the details of the navigation system. Now, the navigation system is kind of like augmented reality. It's really impressive. Picks up on people, dogs, trees, cars, everything. So it makes sure that everything is all super safe while you're driving, pretty much. Now, all in here, you can control everything in the car. So you can open up the charge port, like that. Close it, like that. Put the mirrors in. You can open up all the windows, you can open up the frunk, you can open up the boot, you can also move the ride height up and down, which, by the way, is only on the Privilege model because it's got air suspension, so it's good for off-roading. You don't really have any knobs and buttons. You don't at all. All you've got is what's going on down here, so you can kind of change your drive modes, etc. down here. You've also got something else very similar to Tesla, the pet mode, which for some reason they've chosen a cat. I don't know anyone that takes their cat in the car. You've also got camping mode. Camping mode closes everything. Camping mode closes the rear blinds, and then it should close the sunroof. The sunroof, by the way, panny sunroof, comes as standard. Yes, comes on even the basic trim, which is blooming marvellous, and it makes everything feel really airy and great in here. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn on my aerated seats because I've just got absolutely soaked, and I need to dry off my bum. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put that on there. That's it. So I can dry my bum. You've got rear heated seats. This is also only in the privilege version. Heated aerated seats. You've also got massaging seats for the front too, only in the privilege trim. The massage is actually quite nice. You adjust the steering wheel in here, which is again very similar to how you use a Tesla. You can adjust your head-up display, adjust your mirrors. That's all then put on here, again similar to a Tesla. I'm not saying they've copied everything, but they've totally copied everything. So I'm going to save that. That's all good. What else are we going to do? What else have we got? Let's press more things. Apple CarPlay, that's all standard. Android Auto, that's standard as well, and that's all wireless. Blooming brilliant. What else have we got? There's the navigation. Let me show you this, right? So it's actually quite detailed. It's their own navigation system. I did. What? Apply. Apply? Go away. Is that all right? That's fine. That's fine. So this has all just been built and designed especially for Zeekr, so that they've got a full set navigation system that then also shows up in your head-up display. What else have we got? 360 camera, so you can see what's going on around the car. Can we move that? Yes! Now we can have a good look around the car. Annoyingly, even though Manos is stood there right now with his camera, it's not showing him. You can also check the curb, so you don't curb your wheels. Very nice. You can sort of select the cameras and have a good look to make sure that you're parking correctly. It does also park itself. It does, because it's a computer. It's basically just going to drive itself eventually, isn't it? It's insane the amount of tech that they have put inside this thing. I'm so impressed by it. What they've done in terms of styling is they've kept it reasonably simple. They've gone a little bit more than a Tesla, a little bit less than a BYD C-Line 7. So not as faffy, if you will. I quite like the fact that this screen is kind of built into the dash like that. We've also got some ambient lighting that's all along here. I was told in the presentation last night that there's a competition. Now, I'm naturally really competitive, which means that I have to win this competition. And that is to give the official amount of cubbies and storage inside the car. So shall we count them? Because I want to win. I have to win this prize. Here we go. Right. I would make that 1 for wireless charging, 2 cup holders, 3 in here, 4 for your key, 5 down here in the doors, 6. There's also a little one there. 7, 8. There'll be the same on the other side. 9, 10, 11. 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. I think it's 23. It is really spacious back here. That is set up for my driving position. I'm 5'6.5". Look at the legroom. That's great. You can get a really tall person back here and they will be more than comfortable. You've also got the rear heated seats in this version. And then you've got very squishy, lovely seats. This is leaning forward a bit because there's a little button down there. Reclining. Oh, that's very nice. I want to point out something to you. The windows, you have to press up to go down and down to go up. Up puts them down, then down puts them up. Up to down, down to up. There's something else I want to show you. Right, do you want to sit in your seat properly? Sit. Just going to give you a little heads up. If you have children, and particularly children that like to annoy you, they will be able to control the passenger seat in front of them. Now, obviously, when this does come to the UK, it will be right-hand drive, so everything will be flipped. But they can do this. Because it's been designed as a car that you're going to be driven in. So then you'd be a passenger, and then you look how much space you've got. You can recline and you've got loads of space. But if you're using this as a family car and you've got someone sat in their seat, are you all right?
No.
then they're going to do it. They're going to do it. It's all just controlled by these things here.
And can I mention something?
Can you put yourself back?
No. Wait. I can.
Oh, you can.
But do you know what else I can do?
What can you do? Stop. Stop.
Hey.
This is a car where you can annoy the entire family. Oh. No! It's up to go down. It's up to go down. There we go.
Let's drive.
Okay.
This video is brought to you with Andersen EV, the UK's most awarded home charge point brand of 2024. Offering over 200 colour and finish options, a market-leading 7-year warranty and a unique hidden tethered cable.
Right. This thing is fast. It's fast. So the smaller battery version has 415 horsepower, which is still pretty blooming quick. The version we've got here, this is the bigger battery, so it's a 100 kilowatt hour battery. This has 630 horsepower. And it blooming goes. It does. I've got it in sport mode right now, so once I get around this corner, I'm just going to do this. That's great. Oh, and it's, yes. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. It'll do 0 to 62 in 3.8 seconds. That's stupidly quick for a car of this size, isn't it? But that's handled that really well. Bit of a sleeper car, isn't it? One of those that you don't expect it to manage it, and then it just does. It just does. And it's reasonably quiet as well. There's not a lot of road noise going on. There's hardly any wind noise. It's largely thanks to the shape of the car. But it's cornering pretty well. It is. Regen braking's also pretty good. It does have full one pedal driving that you have to access in the menu, but I've got it on strong, so if I lift off the accelerator right now, it will come down to a brake and it will come to a complete stop, which is very nice. You kind of get used to one pedal driving once you start driving electric. And then once you're sort of a full one pedal driver, there's just no turning back. It just works so nicely and it's so satisfying because you hardly ever have to touch the brake, like ever. You can just ride the accelerator down to a complete stop, which is really great. I mean, this thing, it drives well, it's stupidly powerful, it can tow 2,000 kilograms, which is actually, I think, the best in its class. So you do have two battery options. Now the smaller battery will do around 298 miles WLTP, and then the bigger battery will do 382 miles WLTP. Now we're only driving this very briefly in Portugal, so I can't really give you an idea of efficiency and how far you'll actually get in real world. But I'm hoping it'll be pretty good because it's, for an SUV, reasonably aerodynamic. And the battery tech is so impressive because charging, this is where this car is fantastic. I mean, if you were to compare this to like a BYD, for example, like recently I drove the Atto 2, the BYD Atto 2, and their charging speeds were shocking, like really, really bad. 65 kilowatts, I think they were charging at, because they were like, oh, it doesn't really matter, blah, 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 blah. But actually what Zeekr are doing, Zeekr are focusing on the internal combustion engine drivers, because normally if someone wants to make the switch to electric, they panic about the charging times. And they go, I'm sure the cars are great, but it's the charging speed that bugs me. I don't want to sit at a charging station for hours. You know, I need to just get on my way. Well, you can do that in this, because this will charge at 480 kilowatts. Now stay with me, because you probably won't be able to charge at that speed. That's because CCS only does top whack 360. But still, 360 kilowatt charging, you're going to go 10 to 80%, kid you not, 13 minutes. 13. 1-3. We actually saw a video during the presentation where they did a 10 to 80% test, and it did it in 11 minutes. So say you plug in, you find a fast enough charger, you plug in, pop in, have a quick wee, grab a coffee, it's done. You're good to go. That is where this car is brilliant. Charging speeds. Another perk of the charging, 22 kilowatt AC home charging. Brilliant. Vehicle to load, yes. Vehicle to grid, yes. All just included in the car. That's great. Can I also, I just want to acknowledge what Zeekr are doing right now in terms of their technology, but also what they're doing for their customers. They're only like 4 years old. They're a brand spanking new company, but what they're doing is they're listening. So say you were to buy one of these, you were to buy a 7X, and then you go, well, there's something within the software that I don't really like and I'm not a fan of, and I think it'll work better like this. Send them a message. And they listen, and they'll change it. They want their customers to get in touch, to go, how can we make this better? Let's make it better, let's work together. And that's what they do. They listen, they change it, they make it better, which I think is fantastic. They're also, in terms of technology innovations, changing the world, right? This was in the presentation last night and this blew my mind. They're calling it valet charging. So in China, and this actually works in China right now, I hope they bring it to the UK because it's insane. You have to drive your car into a multi-storey car park, and then you stop, you get out of the car, and then there's no one in the car, and the car drives itself in a multi-storey car park, stopping for people, stopping for barriers, all that kind of thing, finds a charging spot, parks in the driving spot, and then a machine comes out and then plugs the car in. Does it all by itself. It's working right now in China. They're doing it. They're doing it. It exists. This is the future, isn't it? This is the future. Technology is clearly king. This is basically a driving computer. But also you can take full control of the car and have good fun while you're doing it. I don't want fully autonomous cars because I still want to experience driving. I want to control something myself and drive it myself. So you still can. But if you also want to be lazy, you can. It's a win-win. Now these roads aren't the best in Portugal. They are quite bumpy. But it's coping pretty well. I mean, we are on the big 21-inch wheels. If you want the smaller wheels, then you'll have to go down in spec because full top spec is 21-inch only. But it's not as bumpy as I thought it might be. What they do, especially when it comes to European style driving, is...
Drive carefully.
I don't know if you heard that, but I've got the sat-nav on and there's speakers in the headrest. So you might not have heard it, but that was information just for me from the headrest. I like that. So if you get a phone call, it all comes through here rather than through the entire car. Like that. It feels very personal. That was quite sweet. It's like she was whispering in my ear then. That was really nice. What was I saying? She interrupted me. Now here's what we do know. This car is already out and already exists if you're in the Netherlands, or if you're in Norway, or if you're in Sweden. Good for you. Congratulations. It's not actually coming to the UK for potentially another 18 months, is what they're saying, because they need to obviously make a right-hand drive version. But it is coming, and I will put money on this brand doing pretty well in the UK, and I think that is largely because this whole thing has been built and designed in Europe for European drivers, because what they want is they want something slightly firmer, because that's what Europeans like, and because we've got bendy roads, slightly firmer, nice and fast, and handles corners really well. That's how you make a good European car, and that's exactly what they've done here. All designed for Europeans by Europeans. Yes, it's a Chinese brand, but it's all focused on Europe, which is why I think they're going to do pretty well. Another reason why they're going to do pretty well is the price. Now, this feels quite luxury. It does. The materials, everything inside is all nice and squishy. It's all nice and soft. The amount of tech that's included is utterly insane. You would think that this would be quite an expensive car, but no. So the entry-level trim with the smaller battery starts at £44,000, which, well, is cheaper than the basic Model Y. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. If you go for full top spec, the privileged trim with a bigger battery, all-wheel drive, etc., which is what we've got here, it's just over £52,000. I don't think that's bad. For something that feels quite luxurious, it's quite impressive, isn't it? For everything that you're getting, it's a bit nice. This is definitely with luxury in mind. And I quite like it. I mean, by all means, let us know what you think in the comment section below, see if you agree with me. But this is driving really well. She's a total babe in the headrest. Love her very much. We're going to be friends. I guess the only downside is this does seem like it is just another electric SUV. They all starting to look very, very similar, and they've absolutely copied the homework of lots of different brands, haven't they? They just have. So does that make this original? Not so much. But I think this is quite special compared to Tesla and compared to Lotus. I think they've done a pretty good job here. It just doesn't look as sexy on the outside, does it? It doesn't look, it's not going to turn heads on the outside, I don't think. So you feel like you're in something special, but you just don't look like you're in something special. If you want to look like you're in something special, you'd pick a Lotus. If you want to feel like you're in something special, you'd pick this. I think so. Yeah.
You'll be able to choose between two battery options, the 75 kilowatt-hour battery in the entry-level rear-wheel drive model and a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack in both the rear-wheel drive long range and the all-wheel drive range topper. Then you've got 3 option packs to add on top of those. So you can either change the interior, so you can opt for charcoal black Napa leather, very nice. You can go for the cockpit package, so that includes augmented reality 36-inch head-up display, the 21 Zeekr sound speakers, which is the one that has them in the headrest, it's very nice, and an air fragrance system, fancy pants. And on top of that, you can get the comfort package, which comes with front seats, ventilation and massage, front seat 4-way lumbar support, power sunshade rear side windows, and those fancy electric front and rear doors, the ones that are opening and closing by themselves.
Okay, well, at least it stopped raining. That's good. All in all, I think this is a pretty great car. I mean, it's a bit annoying that we've got to wait another 18 months for it to arrive in the UK. But here's my theory. By the time it arrives in the UK, it's going to be even better, isn't it? With all of the software updates, etc., that it's going to get along the way, it's just going to get better and better and better. It drives really well, it corners really well, it charges super fast, it's comfortable, it's luxurious, and the price is not horrendous. So fair play to Zeekr, and welcome to this brand spanking new brand. I can't wait to see this on UK roads. By all means, let us know what you think in the comment section below. I'm going to get back in because it's still windy, so I'm going to go. I'm never going to get tired of that. I'm going 23. I counted them. I'm so confident it's 23.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is it correct?
Yeah. You want the price, you can choose actually.
Is it? I got it right.
Yeah, you did. You did? Yes.